One of my favorite parts about Xenoblade 2 in general is just the fact that they put in so many blades into the game. And you might be thinking, oh, they put in like 10 or 20 or 30 at most. Yeah, try like 52. So I thought, why not go through every single rare blade, plus the story blades as well, and just give like a little summary about why I like them or like thoughts on them if I don't like them, which spoiler alert, I don't hate any of them.
So with this, I'm gonna save the main story blades for the end, because I feel like just ending it off on the best ones. So, you know, just be nice. And I know for a lot of people, I'm starting off on a low note, because a lot of people don't like Godfrey. I mean, he's fine. I think he, has a cool design. Originally, I'm pretty sure he was gonna be like a fire blade because off his like skill names. But like they wanted to give us another ice blade because there's not a lot of ice blades, which also they're not really good. Unless you count Torna and Jin, then like ice blades are really good. But I know I like Godfrey and his like blade quest, because his blade quest is like super funny. It's like, I don't know how to describe it, but like it's just like a generic, that's not the right word to use, but it's like some like superhero show you would think of, like where Godfrey's a superhero and he fights like just some bad guy. It's really funny. And he's all about like, oh, justice this, justice that. Now, I know Wulfric is given to you in the story, but like he's not like a story blade, I feel. Like he's not like in part of like cutscenes or like that, but you know what I'm trying to get at. But no, I really like Wulfric. Wulfric's like, he's a sweet. And his blade quest especially, where he just like wants to help people and all that, and like it's his heart to heart as well, where he just wants to be helpful, but like everyone's just scared of how he looks. It's heartwarming. And also like he's pretty good. Like Earth Element is very nice, and I like Mega Lances. Mega Lances are really good. I like the kit. And all around, Wulfric's just pretty cool. Perceval. Now it took a little bit for Perceval to grow on me, because like when I first got him, I'm like, oh, he looks cool. But then I didn't really use him much, and it just took a little bit to like him to grow on me. Even after doing his blade quest, it took a little bit. But now after all that, Perceval's cool, and Chrome Wing Katanas are like overall just a really good kit. Like I think everyone in like the base roster, or I don't know why I said base roster, but all the main drivers have a good Chrome Wing Katana kit. Like some would say better than others, but like overall just a good kit, and Perceval is great. Dark Element's very nice, because I feel like Dark Element's the rarest one, but it's not. It just, I don't know why I thought that. I guess because they're in the Justice category, and there's only one Light Blade, and that's probably, I group in KOS-MOS with them. I don't know. That's why I just kind of feel like there's not a lot of Dark Blades, but like, looking at it, there actually is. And speaking of Dark Blades, Veil. And Veil is absolutely one of my favorite rare blades in the entire game. I love her so much. She's great. Her heart to heart is just super like relatable, where she just doesn't want to get out of bed and just wants to sleep in till like 12. I feel that on a personal level. Her blade quest as well, where she's just like gonna stop a cult and just calls them a dumbass at the end, is really funny. It's just, Veil's great. And also, Mega Lance as well. Mega Lance is a super fun kit. I really like her design. I haven't really talked much about the design so far, but like Veil is just one of my personal favorites. It's super good. Agate. I'm super disappointed in my first playthrough. I didn't get her a lot earlier, because I feel like I would have used her for a lot longer than I did, because like when did I get her first playthrough? I think it was like a post game I got her, because I didn't get all the rare blades my first playthrough till like post game, obviously, because like KOS-MOS and all that. But like I wish I got Agate earlier, because like on the second playthrough I did get her. Like I think she was my first rare blade, and I just used her all throughout it, because Agate's like really cool, and her blade quest is also really funny. Actually, no, that's funny. Kind of funny, but like also heartwarming in the end, because like she gets over her fear and then like finds a new stone. It's like really good quest. I like it. It's a good one. Also, design wise, yeah, she's great. She's really good, and great axe as well. Great axes are cool. They're kind of basically just good shield hammers, which makes me sad, because I wish shield hammers were really good. And I say how they're good, it's just like they have slow auto attack, but in return they have high critical hit rate, and like a lot of their arts are just really good. Like they have an art that like recharges on crit. It's just like, okay, why couldn't shield hammer get something good like that? Gorg's also in that category where I wish I got him earlier, but he's also kind of like Perceval where he didn't really grow on me right away. Which, so it's like kind of weird that I'm saying this, but like now that I know I like Gorg, I wish I got him earlier, but like once I got him, like it's fine. I already had like my personal favorites, but then Gorg's up there. I really like Gorg as well. I know I just keep saying I really like this one, but like there's really just no bad Rare-Blade. I mean, there's one that I kind of don't like, and I will get to them, but Gorg is really cool. His Blade Quest as well, where he just like makes sweets and all that is nice. Also has like what's the skill name? I don't remember the name. I think it's just like letters, like a bunch of letters and numbers. But it's like gives the entire party 20% defense at max affinity. That's probably not it, but like it's a good skill. Boreas. Now, for my first playthrough of Xenoblade 2, Boreas was actually my first rare blade. I did eventually overdrive him over to Nia, because I'm like, oh, he's a healer. I gotta put the healer on Nia because Nia's healing. But then in retrospect, realizing, oh yeah, I'm stupid, I could have left it on Rex, but whatever, it's fine. Boreas is great. Boreas carried me through a bunch of the game, and also like late game as well. His whole Blade Quest where he just eats food is just, that's great. And he's just a giant ball just rolling around at the speed of sound. Also, the fact that he's also voiced by Bridget, which is just, the contrast is just insane. How, like, just hearing them side by side, you really do not hear their voices whatsoever. But just then you see, like, it tells you, like, hey, they're both voiced by the same person. You're like, how? Literally, how? If you asked me before I did Dagus' Blade Quest and just watched his Heart to Heart, I would tell you that, yeah, I don't like him. He's kind of an ass. But after, doing the Blade Quest, he gets, I would say, redeemed in the end, where he's, good. I wouldn't say he's one of my personal favorites. Combat-wise, he's really good. And also, it's kind of cool that, like, how he basically just doesn't try, and then after his Blade Quest, you get his, true affinity chart, where then all his skills are basically doubled in effect or whatever. Probably not. I don't think they're doubled, but, like, he's got some insane skill. He's good. He's good to have for combat. And, I mean, personality's, ass. But he's alright in the end. He gets redeemed. His Blade Quest definitely redeems them. Which I do like, that like the Blade Quest, they learn something in the end. Where, sure, Blades obviously, they lose their memory after, they're transferred back to their core. But, like, the game also says if they have, like, a big, life-changing experience that really helps them out, they'll, like, keep that with them. So, there's a Blade I'm thinking of right now that we'll get to them, and I'll point that out. Oh, where do I even begin? Kasandra, absolutely, hands down, the best shield hammer. I mean, it was not saying much because shield hammers are not really good, but I don't care. I use Kasandra so much. Shield hammer is the worst, like, a weapon class, but I use her so much because I absolutely love her. She is great, and I'm so glad that she's, like, a freebie that you get every playthrough. I'm always going to have her because she's just awesome like that. Her Blade Quest is super great. What's it called? Our Daily Bread. And it's just her basically kind of bullying Tyrkin. Not really, but like they just get screwed over with her great luck. Also, she has some really good post-battle quotes. There's one of Korra where she talks like, hey, you want to go back to Gormott sometime? And then Korra's like, God, no. I had to sleep on the floor last time. She is absolutely one of my favorite rare blades in the game. She's up there with Veil as well. Which is, really funny how they're both dark elemented, and I commented on how there's not a lot of dark elemented blades in the game, yet both of the ones, not all of them, Perceval, that's the other one, but two out of the three, I commented on that, yeah, they're like my absolute favorites. Wow, we just keep getting bangers. Like this part of like the Blade album is just banger after banger after banger, because, Practice as well, also one of my favorite rare blades in the game, and it's also really funny how she's also a freebie as well. I got really lucky where a bunch of the blades I really like are like freebies and you don't have to get them through gacha, which, personally, I don't mind the whole quote-unquote gacha system. It's fine, it's, in your favor, and just by playing the game, you'll get a good chunk of them. Sure, like KOS-MOS, you're most likely not gonna get them, but you'll have to grind for them, but that's fine. Doesn't bother me. But anyway, Practice, she's great. Got a cool design. I love her like little eye patch. She also has a post-battle quote with Zeke, and they talk about like their eye patches, and just, it's really great. And she's Mega Lance as well, and Mega Lances are really cool, and she's just great. And I love her and Theory's like Blade Quest, because I mean, we can move on to Theory since we're here now. I just brought her up, which, like I said, basically the same praise that I have for Praxis, they can just continue over to Theory, because she's a freebie as well. She's not water, but ice, and I probably, not, if you don't count Jin, probably my favorite Ice Blade, because, you know, not really a lot. Actually, no, that's not fair. There's another Ice Blade I really like, which is probably going to be a hot take, but that's besides the point. I really like how Praxis and Theory, they get like technically 3 Blade Quests, kind of. I mean, Praxis gets like in the game, so like this is the one for Praxis, this one for Theory, this is the one for like both of them, which I like that. And it's just really cool seeing, because like with Vess's, I'm talking about like blades we haven't got to yet, but like with Vess, she loses her memory at the end of the quest, and it's like you gotta see her before then. But with like Praxis and Theory, you get to see like how they're like basically thieves, and at the end you get Praxis, and then in the Theory quest you see like Praxis can basically completely just forgot, doesn't remember anything, and just like all kind of happy but Theory's trying to get her memories back, and it's just like the ending is also really sad in that quest, where Theory basically kills her driver because she doesn't want to kill Praxis, even though Praxis completely just doesn't remember that. And then in the new Praxis in like the third one, it's just like kind of reverse where Praxis is like trying to like get her, not trying to get her memories, but like just trying to like just be friends with her, and Theory's just not having it. It's just they're those 3 like Blade quests are like some of my favorites, and makes sense because Praxis and Theory are some of my favorite rare blades, and just in the game as well. Now I feel like a lot of people really like Perun, and I mean personally I think she's just alright. She's fine. I mean, she's, cool, and that's, pun not intended. I know she's an Ice Blade, and sure, she is a Mega Lance. She's, that's cool, but, like, she's not up there for me. I don't know. I just don't know why. Maybe because of, like, her Blade Quest, where, like, you have to go back to the abandoned factory, which I don't hate it as much as a lot of people do. The only thing I don't like about it is that you're not allowed to warp during that, even if, like, you leave, and I don't have her in the party, because if you have the Rare Blade in the party, it is, like, part of the Blade Quest. You still can't warp for some reason. I don't know why. That was just kind of a weird thing to do. So I doubt that's the only reason. But just like, she's just kind of middle of the road for me. I have really nothing else to say. She got a cool design though. I'll give you that. I mean, all of these Rare Blades do. But here we are. Here we are. Korra. Korra was one of the I think, was she second? Yeah, she was the second Rare Blade, I think. I'm pretty sure second or third Rare Blade I got in my first playthrough, and she carried me even more than Boreas. Like, I used her basically throughout the entirety of the game, and it's like the only, like, I don't know if I didn't use her on the final boss, I'm pretty sure. I think I don't remember who I used, but I know she wasn't there. I probably do remember, just give me a second to think, but that's not important. Korra's awesome. She literally carried me out through the entire game. Knuckle Claw is just a fun class. It's a fun, like, kind of a mix of attacking, but not really. Like, it can heal. I like that class. It's a fun one. I know she's not really good, but I think it's pretty obvious that I don't care if they're good. I don't care if they're bad. I'll still use them if I like them. And Korra's Blade Quest is just so iconic. Like, sure, you don't really do much. It's just kind of menuing a little bit, like putting like people with girls talk in the party, and that's it. But like the dialogue, the 2 cutscenes you get out of it are just super funny and good. It's just she's one of my personal favorites as well. She's up there with Kasandra, Vale. She's still above, I would say, Praxis and Theory, but like Praxis and Theory are like basically at the very like the minimum, I would say, for me right now. Azami. I don't really have anything bad to say about her, but I don't really have anything to say good about her. I like Perun more. I know I just said, Perun's like middle of the road, but I feel like Azami's a lot lower for me. Because, I don't know, she just kind of, not creepy is not the right word, but like, I don't know how to describe it. Yeah. Ether Cannon's cool. She also is dark elemented, but it doesn't really help her. She has like a cool design, like her eyes, like I don't know what to say, like those, just, it's not an eye anymore. I'll just say that. Her Blade Quest, where she basically is like, how dare you, you're interrupting my time with my darling driver. It's just like, alright, lady, calm down. But yeah, she's fine. I didn't really use her much, and I really still don't use her that much, but she's, you know, she's alright. Some people that are watching this video probably just clicked off because they saw her, which, okay, yeah, sure, I understand your pain, but like, come on. Come on, it's Ursula. How could you hate her? I mean, I know how you could, but like, you shouldn't. Stop. Ursula's great. I talked about, like, you know, how Theory's probably my favorite Ice Blade, but I think Ursula's got the slight edge for me, which is kind of insane because, like, her Blade Quest is, you know, very iconic for being, like, I guess, tedious. It takes a long time to do, but if you just, I feel like, you get her Blade Quest, or get her early on, and do her Blade Quest, like, activate it as soon as possible, and I just have it going in the background while you're playing the game, and you, like, I think it opens up at chapter, like, mid-chapter 4 or maybe 5. You have it going on that, and then, like, you come back, like, chapter 7, and, like, there you go, it's done, and then you're fine. Ursula's, you know, really good. Also, Knuckle Claws as well. I really like Knuckle Claws. I also just like the fact that Barry's there, and, like, just no one acknowledges him except Ursula. It's just really great. Also love that, like, in one of the Blade Quest cutscenes, she plays, like, a Where We Used to Be, which is, like, good. She knows good music. Fun fact about Newt. She is technically the second rarest blade in the game, right behind KOS-MOS. I don't know the exact numbers, but she's, like, pretty close. And I got her, like, insanely, pretty early on, I would say. I think it was around, like, chapter 5. That's not really that early, but that's, like, kind of mid-gamey, I would say. I mean, it is, because, you know, there's 10 chapters. 5 is, you know, middle. But, you know, I got her pretty early. I like her. She's cool. I like her giant arms. Or not arms, but, like, you know, just hands. Chrome as well. Fire element, which I mean, fire's cool. Fire's great. There is, like, the creepy thing, like, the eye on, like, her chest, or not chest, but, like, behind her. The eye thing, which is, yeah, kind of creepy. Luckily, I can't see it very much. I would have to zoom in to really see it. Or I just don't even notice it just playing the game. So, like, I'm not creeped out that much. Just when I found out, I was like, yeah, that's kind of creepy. But then, kind of forgot about it. Now that I'm saying this, even now that I'm saying this, I'm not really creeped out. I probably just have to see it, and then I feel like, okay, that's kind of weird. But, you know, besides that, she's fine. She's cool. Her, like, swimming animation, I think it's her swimming animation, is, like, really funny as well, and just cool. And just, now that I don't know if we're in the exact middle, I'm not keeping track, but, like, just I need to praise Monolith for doing this. The fact that all these rare blades have just, you know, their own movesets, their own, like, abilities, their own blade quests, their own heart-to-heart, all these, like, custom animations, their own lines, they would say during the battle, and their own, like, post-battle quotes with, like, other rare blades or people in the party. It's just mad props to Monolith for doing that. Just, like, you're doing great. I love this company so much. Now, at first, I did not care for Nim whatsoever. Like, I did not like Nim. She, I didn't like her. Like, the whole animal thing wasn't doing it for me. I didn't care for her. But then, like, after, you know, doing her Blade Quest and using her in combat and realized, wow, she actually is pretty good. And Knuckle Claws and, like, her being Earth Elemented, she, you know, grew on me. It's just, like, kind of like Perceval, but Perceval didn't go, like, as high for me. Well, Nim, I would say, is higher. Because I just, you know, maybe because Knuckle Claws is just, yeah, favorite element. And, like, you know, she just, my Knuckle Claws is my favorite element, yeah. I just now realized what I just said. You know, Earth is, like, one of my favorite elements in this game. Actually, that's not true. It's just Earth is just really good for blade combos, like, you know, Volcano and all that, and, like, Poppi, which, you know, we'll get the Poppi. I'm going really ahead of myself, but, like, in the end, Nim redeemed herself, and I would say Nim's, you know, really cool. And here we are. I know at the start of the video I talked about I don't hate any rare blades in the game, which that's still true, but if I have to pick one that is my least favorite, it's Sheba. I just don't. I don't like Sheba. She has a really cool design, and, like, that's the only nice thing I can say about her. She's a freebie as well, technically. I mean, not technically. You have to pay, like, 500,000 gold, so yeah, but it's not worth it. Most playthroughs I do, I just kind of don't get her, because I just don't like her, which, it's just her Blade Quest. And also the fact, like, how it starts, where you have to give her, like, 1,000,000 monies, And she's like, oh, I'm gonna go like waste it on an island, and like, okay. But the island's like very small, and she's like, you wasted $1 million like dollars on this. And then her blade quest is going after like the Napon. Before that like even can start, either it's Rex or Jeet comments on like, oh, we should go do this, and then she says, no, you're stupid, you fucking dumbass. But then Morag, or is it Nia, one of them says like it's literally the same thing, and she's like, oh my god, you're so smart, you're like the smartest person ever. And just like, really, okay. And then I feel like in the ending, she doesn't really learn her lesson, because I feel like with Daggus kind of learns, and like he cares about the party at the end, when he, at the beginning, and like his heart he said he didn't. But like, that's why Daggus, I feel like, he gets redeemed in the end. He's good. Shiva, I feel like, just doesn't learn a lesson, and it's like, oh, you're right, we shouldn't care about money, we should just care about women. It's like, okay, sure, like the whole little scene where they have like a tea party, she just like, all the guys are just like, thrown to the side, or like supposed to be like waiters. It's like, I just kind of wished in the end she just like learned a lesson. It was just like kind of nice to everyone in the party, not just like half the party. That's the only reason. I just don't like care for her. And at least, okay, now we're getting back on track with like, good blades, I would say. Maybe not combat wise, but like character wise, I would say we're getting back on track. Vess is, I like Vess. Also, she is a freebie as well with like her blade class. You can get her like pretty early on. Her blade class is like, very heartwarming, and also just very interesting to see how like she is, like how she was with a different driver until when we awaken her, she's like basically the different, even has like a heart-to-heart with like her kids. I mean, not her kids, but like Mablon's kids. And like they try to like, say, do you remember us? And she's like, no. Which is, really sad, but her blade quest is, I like her blade quest. And I did use her for a good period of time, but then I kind of stopped. Because then Boreas kind of took the spotlight, even though I was using her and Boreas for a good while, but like, I don't know. I just kind of stopped. She's still cool though. Oh, yes, Adenine, yes, here we are, we're back, we literally are back on track. Adenine is so cool. One of my favorite Knuckle Claws. She's up there, when I put her up there with Cora, maybe not Cora or Kasandra, but she's up there with like, Practice of Theory for me. She's got a really cool design, just very cool. She's, very good, has like Treasure Wisdom, which is nice for grinding, very good on Nia, I would say. Wind Element, which is nice, just very good. And her Blade Quest is also very interesting, because like, it talks about like, no, not her Blade Quest, like her Tomes of Mortha, which is like, all that like lore-wise, and also at the end of her Blade Quest, she's like in the World Tree, like in that one like room, doing like all that researchy stuff, and like you can just go talk to her, which is, really cool. Also maybe kind of sad if you don't have Adenine in the party during the final boss. She could maybe die during that, which, that's sad. I don't want to think about that. I'm gonna say that Adenine's like so big brain that she just like knew ahead of time or something and then got out if she's not there in the final boss, so yeah. The Adenine's cool. Oh no. I don't hate Electra. Electra's got a really cool design, but sadly, at least I think, I know there's like kind of, I think like a different, I think people think like Dromark's not Dromark. Actually, yeah, Dromark's the worst. But like, I think Electra is the worst blade in this entire game, which is really sad. I mean, she is a kid, I know that, but like in her blade quest, they make her seem like her electric powers are super strong, which, and she's also a shield hammer, and she has like one ox core slot, and like, I think that, what's the ability name, like Zappy Girl, just doesn't work or whatever, or just doesn't do what it was probably intended to do, or isn't good at doing that. It's just, damn. Electra, I like Electra. Her blade quest is, I mean, at the beginning it's like kind of, you would say kind of annoying because she's like kind of crying, but like in the end she just learns that she can use her power to help people, which is very heartwarming. And just, damn, they did not need to do Electra that dirty. She could have been like pretty good. I know she's a shield hammer, but she could have been like as good as a shield hammer could be. Zenobia, she's really good, I would say. I mean, this is not really saying, oh, Blade's good in combat, therefore I like them. Obviously that I said that's not true. But no, Zenobia's, got a cool design. I really like in her beginning of her Blade quest where she talks about like, let me fight Mythra. And I just like pause the game and I'm like, there's no way you're gonna kill Mythra or even like beat her. She's the Aegis and like you're just some Windblade that doesn't even have like all her blade abilities even locked out, because like when I did that I didn't do them all, which her chart's kind of iconic, where you have to kill like a bunch of unique monsters. The only like I think 3 that aren't unique monster related is like just trust related, and like to unlock each like node or each level of the chart is like putting on merc missions. So I would say it's kind of hard to get hers, but it's also really satisfying to see in the end that you kill all those unique monsters, so yeah, it's good. She gets bonus points for that, and I thought that was just kind of not really a collectathon. I mean, kind of is, but it was just fun to do, I would say. And Zenobia, you know, is pretty strong. I mean, she doesn't have any like abilities that like are insane, like, oh, I'm gonna give 40% like defense buff to the entire party. No, she's just, I'm strong, I'm good against bosses, that's it. Oh, here we are. Finch. Now, if you watch Xenoblade content, you know that Finch is kind of iconic. Not in like, you know, like, oh, they're good in the game, or they're got a really funny blade class, which I mean they do. And I mean they're not really good in the game. They're kind of bad, but I don't care. I still use them. I like her. But you know, YouTube locks in. You know, that's why I would say Finch is kind of iconic. I liked Finch before I even knew about that, so Finch is cool. And like how she just forgets everything, and like the ending of her blade quest, where she's like Amulet or Amlet, they're just like that whole very, very good. Finch is, you know, one of my favorites, and she was like also one of the first blades I got in my first playthrough as well. Very fun. Sadly, you know, she's Shield Hammer, but like I like Hammer. Hammer fun. Kassandra's one of my favorite blades, and she's a Shield Hammer. Finch is pretty close to being up there. I don't know, like I kind of have a tier list in my head, but not really. Probably in 5 minutes it will change, because I'll just like forget about something, but you know, Finch is up there. Florin. They're alright. Bitball's pretty cool. I like Bitball's animations. It's just kind of funny that they're basically just using a ball as a weapon. That's cool. Earth Element's, you know, nice. Kind of besides that, don't really have much to say. They're kind of with Perun on that, where they're just kind of middle of the road. I just don't have much to say about them. Don't use them a lot in combat, because like there's another Bitball we're getting close to that, you know, is also one of my favorite blades in this entire game. Maybe my favorite. I don't know, but like, yeah, got nothing to say about Florin. I'm sorry. Ooh, KOS-MOS. Actually not one of, literally is the rarest blade in this entire game. Did take me a while to get her. I had to like do a little bit of grinding to get legendaries, which wasn't that bad. I just had to fight like a Cloud Sea King, and that's what I did a bunch of times, and I eventually got her. And you know, it was worth it in the end. She's, you know, very good, very strong. Also really love that Monolith Soft, you know, put her in the game, because like this is their baby from Xenosaga, which I know absolutely nothing about Xenosaga. I haven't played it. The only things I know is obviously about KOS-MOS and Shion, thanks to a certain someone, and Piper, so I'm guessing there's a character named Piper in the game, but that's about it. That's all I know. Oh, and Telos, because she's also from that, but that's it. I really like KOS-MOS' design. It's very nice. Her blade quest is just, I mean, also her blade quest gets bonus points because during those battles it plays Battles in the Sky Above, so that's bonus points for you, because that song gets, you know, barely any time to shine. And you know, if your blade quest, you know, after that played, you get bonus points, and it'll still move forward for me. But it's still a banger song, and KOS-MOS is just, you know, awesome. Very good feeling to finally get her. Herald. Oh, Herald is also, you know, one of my favorite rare blades in the game. She is a freebie, which we just keep going on that trend that all my favorite rare blades in the game are freebies, or I get them insanely early on, which is, thank God, good. I really like Herald because like her story, in a way, is kind of similar to Pyra and Mythra, maybe not on as a scale, but she's like scared of her power, because like she still remembers about what happened, that she like killed a bunch of people. It's just like really sad, and then she goes to Spirit Crucible Elpis to basically kind of kill herself. It's just like really sad and heartbreaking. And you know, Herald, you know, Etherkin, like I said, Electric Element's awesome. She is, you know, very strong. Herald's great. One of my, like I keep saying, favorite blades in the game. Oh, here we are. Now, if you, you know, have, you know, social media, especially Twitter, every time or not every time, but at a good chunk of times when people talk about character design and Xenoblade 2 gets brought up, everyone always says the game has bad character design because they bring up Rex, like Pyra, and then Dahlia. And which is, I don't hate Dahlia, she's fine. I like her, Blade Quest, where like she helps out like a bunch of kids, and like the one line where she like makes fun of Zeke is really funny during that. But her design doesn't bother me. Like I never even like noticed, like it wasn't an issue to me. It's not like, oh my god, this game has bad character now, I cannot play this game anymore. Which that's not even true. Xenoblade 2 has amazing character design. It's great. And Dahlia was never a problem to me, and I even got her like pretty early on as well. That's not by pretty early on, I mean like I think it was 6, which is, I mean, I don't know why I keep saying early on. That's not early on, that's mid game. But I got her then in my first playthrough, and I'm like, oh cool. Oh, Bitball and Ice Blade, that's pretty cool. And that was it. I never said, oh my god, I can't use her character design, I hate her. Now, she isn't like one of my favorites, like the ones I've said, but I would put her like kind of in the middle, but like high middle, in this like hypothetical tier list that I keep bringing up. Now here's where something is just insanely cool, and I popped off so hard over this. After you beat Xenoblade 2, you unlock New Game Plus, which, okay, that's just a standard feature for most games. And you, like, standard New Game Plus is like, oh, you get to carry over your level, your money, and abilities and all that. And, like, Xenoblade 2, oh, like, blades, okay. But Xenoblade 2 is like, nah, we're gonna go that a step further. There's, you can get your third accessory slot. You can have all these traveling bards that, make it easier to grind for ether crystals for Poppi, parts for Poppi as well, like the master types. I think that's the name I don't remember the exact name of that. But like overdrives and all that stuff. And also giving your driver a second affinity chart, which is really cool. Some of those skills are insanely expensive. But like one of the biggest features about it is that you get to awaken all of the members of Torna except like, Jin and Mal's, which if you got to, that would have been insanely cool. But even just like the ones that we have, this is still insane. And on that part, Akos as like a blade that we get to use, that's still cool. But like as a character and I have context in the story, he kind of goes down for me because he killed Van Damme technically. I mean, it was more of a Brona, but like, you can't do that to me. But and there in the ending, I did kind of feel bad for you about all that. So like, you'll go up a little bit, but you killed Van Damme, so like, I don't know exactly. You're kind of mid. Now, I feel like a lot of people, not a lot of people, I know a lot of people don't like Pertoka, which, I'm different. I really like Pertoka. I like her cutscenes where she just like makes fun of Mikhail. The one scene, like basically her introduction, is so funny, where she just like punches Mick in the face. And then Mick's reaction is just like, the way he says K is just so funny, which, we're getting to Mikhail next. But Pertoka, I really like Pertoka. She's also just good as a blade. I felt, bad for her just like Akos. But the difference is with Akos, she didn't kill Van Damme. So she's alright. She gets a pass. She's cool. And here's the lad himself. Here he is. Oh, like I said, first met Mikhail, I instantly liked him. He was just super funny. He was just great. Even with the few cutscenes he had, he was great. Even like during like chapter 6, when I was in the motion wreck and just want to kill like just like basically game end Torna, where he like grabs Morag and he's like, whoa, you're kind of a looker up close. It's just like, okay, thanks. Just ruining like, and then immediately after that I'm like crying, but like that's not important. Mikhail is great. He's dark elemented, but that's not really important. He's also like a freebie. I mean, you have to wait until like chapter 9 to get him after the ship goes, the maelstrom goes down. But you can get him and like you wake him on anyone except like Tora, which, okay, imagine if you could have Mikhail on Tora, that'd be actually really cool. But no, Mikhail is great, and with like Torna context as well, Mikhail just even gets more bonus points. As a character in this blade logic, he would be up there. Like, one of my personal favorites, which, I mean, actually, no, I don't know why I said that. Mikhail is one of my favorites. Mikhail is great. Okay, yeah. With how I said with Akos, how he gets bonus points, or gets somewhat redeemed in because I feel bad for him. Yeah, Aurora doesn't have that luxury, where You killed Van Dam, and yeah, I don't hate her as much as a lot of people do. Like, people say Aurora is the worst blade. I don't know about that one. I think Shiva is for me, but she's kind of close to that. So, yeah. Now, these next two aren't really, don't have especially Akos, Perchoka, and Mikhail, like how they're in the cutscene. Perdido and Cressidas only are in that one cutscene, and they're kind of just instantly killed. They don't even say anything, I'm pretty sure. Actually, no, they don't say anything. They're just killed. So they don't really get time to shine in the story, which, okay, whatever. They're just kind of blades. And Perdido's just kind of fine. He's an ether cannon, fire element, but like, he's not doing much for me. He got a cool design though, I'll give you that. You may be thinking that Cressidas is going to be like Perdido, where I don't have much to say about it because, instantly killed. But here's the thing. That's not true, because Cressidas is so great. Cressidas is great. He's up there. Maybe not up there, obviously. Up there, but he's like pretty up there, because like Cressidas is like, he has like a cool skill where like if you hit the enemy, they stay topple longer, which is topple locking basically. Haha. That's a fun reference. I'm glad that's back in this game on this one blade. But I like his voice is super great. And like his one heart to heart where he basically just like launches, like picks up his driver and just throws them across to like Gorma. Just good. He's great. Also, he's Mikhail's blade, so yeah, even gets him some bonus points. Now Sever is just, I kind of wish he got a little bit more screen time to, shine. I mean, he gets like 2 fights technically, but at least he gets like be in your party during the beginning of the game when Malice is there, so he gets points for that. And Sever just, really cool. Also, the fight, Rex and Pyra's first fight is just a super cool cutscene, and like he's there, so he gets, points for that. But besides that, he's, killed with Mythra. Mythra kills him with Sacred Arrow, so that's it. But like outside of that, he's not my favorite. Cressidas just is too good. Cressidas is too great. Out of like the Torna blades, not like the Torna blades, because the Mikhails and Perchoka are up there, but like as like their blades, like Cressidas is the best one. Then I would say, at least Sever is, a good second, and then Perdido, and then Rona. Okay, so we finished all the Torna blades, but apparently I did not know this. I thought Telos was, a base game blade, but apparently she wasn't. She was actually like a part of that New Game Plus stuff. But like, you don't have to be in New Game Plus later, because I got her actually also pretty early as well. She's great. She's strong. She's strong. Great axe strong. Dark element. I like her. Apparently I really just like dark element blades for some reason. Now that I'm doing this video, I just now kind of realized, like, wow, a lot of my favorites are dark element, huh? Okay, cool. But Telos is great. She's strong. She doesn't get as much bonus points, I would say, compared to KOS-MOS, because KOS-MOS is the best and it's such a satisfying feeling. I just thought Telos was just a random blade, and then learning that, oh, wait a minute, she's like related to KOS-MOS and like Xenosaga and stuff. Okay. If I played those games, like, I feel like Telos and KOS-MOS are going to be like up there. I mean, KOS-MOS is up there being one of my first favorites, but like Telos I feel like will also be up there as well. But she's kind of close. Oh, here's Poppi. Guys, we're going over Poppi now. Totally, yeah, this is definitely Poppi. Poppi Buster is technically the best shield hammer, which is like, congratulations. You're the best at the worst class, but I say that's not true, because Kassandra's the best shield hammer, so this is actually false information. Poppi Buster is, cool. I like how you get him. I like how Tori gets to see his like grandpa again, so that's nice. I also just like the random quotes that Poppi and like the Buster have. They're like giving them pouch items and like just post-founder quotes as well. They're great, but I wouldn't put him up there with like people. So he's all right though. Now, I mean, is this fair to count? I mean, Shulk and Fiora aren't technically blades, but I mean, they're blades in this game. And judging by the fact that Shulk is just one of my favorite characters in Xenoblade as a whole, yeah, he's up there. He's like very, very up there. Because like, he's carried by, Xenoblade 1, which, like I've stated before, I didn't play the expansion pass for Xenoblade 2 after I immediately beat 2, because I was just like, emotionally dead and just like processing everything. I'm like, I want to play another Xenoblade game. So then I played Xenoblade Definitive Edition, got to know Shulk and all that. I felt literally the same thing happened. Great story as well. Then I came back to 2. Actually, no, I did Future Connected, then came back to 2 to do the expansion pass. Did not know about Shulk and Fiora were in the game. Screamed so loud, popped off that they were here, and, you know, it was such a cool feeling to find out that they were here. And, yeah, he's one of my favorites. I don't need to talk about design and all that. Shulk's great. The Monada's cool. Just great. Like I said with Shulk, it's Fiora. Basically the same thing. Fiora's awesome. I love her. She's great. Sure, she ain't no Melia for me, but Fiora's still amazing. Great addition. Just, did not really expect that. And also, she has like some Shulk and Fiora both have some really good post-battle quotes with the party. There's like the one where Fiora talks to Zeke saying, Zeke, I think girls would like you more if you dropped the eye patch. And then Zeke's just like, huh, Zeke doesn't like girls, he doesn't need them. It just goes off like this whole rant. And then like there's the one with the Shulk and Fiora both have a post-battle quote, where, like, just like, oh, it's just so heartwarming, great. It's good. She's great. And here we are. I mentioned it like a lot earlier, but Crossette might be my favorite rare blade in the game. If we don't count Shulk and Fiora, because I'm kind of unfair, because like they're, you know, have a whole game basically. You know, Shulk is the protagonist of the other game, so like that's kind of unfair. But like as a blade in this game, Crossette is up there. She might be my favorite. I'm still not sure, but like some days I'm feeling like, yeah, Crossette's my favorite. She's so good. She's insanely strong. Bitball is just a fun weapon class. Just has stupid dumb abilities. She's just insanely good. Her her post-battle quotes that she has are super good. The one that she has with Pyra is just super, just like adorable, where she's just like looking up to Pyra, because like she sees Pyra as like her hero and just wants to be like Pyra. And her Blade Quest as well, where it's like that, and just Crossette's great. She's a Pyra fan, and you know, I'm a Pyra fan as well as a Mythra fan, so I can, you know, relate to her. Yo, Corvin. Now, before knowing how stupid overpowered Corvin is, I liked him already. He has a cool weapon. It's a unique weapon. Had its own name, got all, you know, a bunch of arts. Has like an evasion art on literally everyone. He's insanely good. He's just good on everyone. Cool. Sadly, his like Blade Quest isn't really, nothing much happens. Like there's like just one fight and then a cutscene and then it just ends, which is like, alright, that's fine, whatever. I already liked Corvin before. You didn't need to convince me there. Corvin's great. He's strong. He's very cool. He's a light element as well, which there's very few light element blades in the game. Most of them are like DLC ones, so yeah. But Corvin's great. He is up there, obviously one of my personal favorites, but he's not Crossette tier for me. Now, this is like the opposite with Shulk, where Elma does not have the privilege of, oh, I played Xenoblade X, so I immediately love her here, which, yeah, that'd be cool if Xenoblade X got ported to Switch and like soon. I know Xenoblade 3 is coming out, but like, come on, maybe like a little bit after that. You know, that'd be pretty cool. Like yeah. But even besides that, Elma's just, you know, really cool. I really wish she got like post-battle quotes with everyone, where she doesn't. I think all the voice actors at that point were like kind of gone, and like their contracts or whatever ended, so they couldn't get to do that. So like, whatever, like heart-to-hearts or like just text, so just kind of sad. But she's, you know, really good and strong. I like how she's like her overdrive mechanic from like Xenoblade X, which is, you know, very cool. I feel like if I do play Xenoblade X, I'll have a slight understanding of how that works, because I've used it in 2, so I feel like, you know, I can understand it there. But, you know, Elma's really cool. Obviously, she ain't no Shulk and Fiora for me, because I don't have the game, but maybe one day I'll get to play that game. Hopefully on Switch. I don't want to dust off the Wii U and, like, find a copy of that to play it, but maybe I might have to. Now, if I did things in, like, order, that would have been the end of the video. But, you know, save the story blades for last, and I'm gonna save, like, I guess the worst one for, now. Save the worst for first. Even though that'd be technically doing him at the very, very first, but Aegeon, I was just saying his name wrong, I'm so sorry. But Aegeon, you know, he's a story blade, technically, and I was not considering putting him here, but like, I kind of have to, by that logic, because like with Wulfric, I wasn't going to put him here, because, you know, sure, Wulfric could get in the story, but like, he's not like in any cutscenes. Like he's in this one as like that I forgot, like not Arden, just like that one boss fight, but he doesn't say anything. Well, Aegeon does, so yeah. He's fine. He's cool. As a design-wise, he's cool, and the water element chroma katana is, you know, very cool, but he kind of sucks, so yeah. I mean, I don't care if they're good, but like, I had him on Morag, which you always have to have him on Morag, unless, you know, Master Driver, then he doesn't have to, but even that, I was thinking, oh, I'm gonna use him for like the entire game on Morag, because that's very fitting. And then, like, I didn't. I used him for a little bit, then just kind of forgot, and so, yeah, I'm sorry. At least in Torna, he gets, like, is there, and used a little bit. Maybe he's kind of forced to use, not technically, but he has to be there in, like, your party, like Hugo, so, Oh, Van Damme. I've talked about how Van Damme's just one of my favorite characters in, like, this, you know, game, as well as just series, because, like, it's common to have, like, a Van Damme-like character. But, you know, Rock's great. I really do wish Rock got more cutscenes throughout the story. Like, I wish Rock showed up, like, when, I think when Rex uses his weapons during when the Pyra gets taken by the Tantalese King. But, like, he's not there saying anything. I also kind of wish he was there as well during, Spirit Curse by Elpis a little bit. That would've been nice. But I understand you can't really, you know, do that. Probably just limitations or whatever. Or not limitations, that's not the right word. But, like, just time. So, yeah, at least, you know, he has, like, kind of like his own separate quest chain compared to his, actually, no, he doesn't have a Blade quest. No, he doesn't. Yeah, he's the only, or does, no. I don't know, I'm going insane. I'm not counting, like, the Mert Group quest. I guess you could count that, but that's not really voiced. He does have, like, the heart-to-heart with Rex, which is very nice, where, like, Rex talks about how, Van Damme was, like, a father figure to him, which is, you know, really good. It's just, like, great. Rock is justice for Rock. Now, I know you can kind of notice that I'm going kind of all over the place with the story blades. You know, I'm kind of saving a certain someone for last, which, yeah, you probably know who it is. There's no point. I don't, yeah, you already know. But Dromark's really cool. I don't care that he's bad. He's, like, one of the worst blades in the game. I kind of wish he was made a little better. Also, like, his weapon is Twin Rings, which it kind of feels a little sad for Neo's, like, main blade to be Twin Rings, while everyone else can have that, and, like, no one else can have, like, their weapon unless you're Rex, because Master Driver, but, like, there's no other, like, common blade or rare blade that has, like, the whip sword with, like, Brigid, or, like, dual side with Rock, or obviously, you know, Aegis sword. But everyone, I mean, there's no, Dromark is not technically, is the only rare blade that uses Twin Rings. They're just, everyone can have Twin Rings to the common blades, which is, I kind of wish Twin Rings was special in that case. But, I mean, it's fine. Dromark's very nice. I like his little hat in the one cutscene, where he just, you know, the little hat. I wish that was a costume. That really should have been a costume. And sure, Dromark doesn't really, I would say, do much story-wise. But, like, come on, this is Dromark. How could you not like Dromark? He's great. Also, really love that, like, when you have Dromark as when you're playing as Nia, that Nia, like, rides him. It's, like, really cool. Brigid. I mean, she's, you know, Morag's, you know, blade, which, I'm gonna kind of go over the place here, but, like, I really like Brigid a lot more thanks to Torna. Not in the way you would think, where, like, Torna, Brigid, and base game Brigid are basically two completely different characters. I just like seeing how this is the same person, and we have an entire game to go off of them, and just how vastly different they are compared to how they are in, you know, base game, where in Torna, Brigid is just really mean to Mythra, but then in this game, Brigid is, you know, very, like, really nice and just calm, which is, I like that. Also, Brigid, you know, really good. I love the blue flames. Just like, they could have just done, oh, fire, make him red, make her red, and just like, alright, that still isn't cool, but like, man, the blue flames are just cool, another cool aesthetic. She does have a costume that, like, gives her, like, red flames. At least they look red to me. But, I don't know, just the blue flames are just very cool. And the whip swords, where, like, she has, like, that one, or the Torna post battle quote where, like, Mythra talking about, like, you could use those things as, like, dog leashes, which is just really funny. Pandoria is just great. I know, like, I don't know why, they have, like, the fog glasses, where it's all, like, the fog on her glasses for, like, a good chunk of the, when you get her, and then, like, chapter 7, they get rid of that. I don't know, it's kind of a weird thing to do. I guess they just, I didn't really understand that, but, I mean, it's fine. I like seeing her eyes. Her eyes are pretty. Also, she just has, you know, she's related to Zeke, and Zeke just has such a good amount of cutscenes And, you know, since Pandoria's there with him, it just kind of, they go hand in hand. It's just, you know, Pandoria's great. I love her, like, ability in New Game Plus, or Zeke's ability, Bringer of Chaos, or Eye of Shining Justice, that basically just makes them insanely strong. Also really funny is that if you don't have that ability, then Rex is better at using Pandoria than Zeke, which is, it's funny, but kind of sad. I never did do that. But I'm gonna put Pandoria on Rex. That just does not feel right to like take their main like blade away from them and just put it on Rex. That just, no, I don't like that. The only time that I did do that was with Bridget during like you know, the section in chapter 7, and then once more I came back, I gave her Bridget back. Pandoria's great. I like her design. I like the little like light bulbs on her like head and like tail. Like they're just, you know, such a good design. Oh, here we are. Here's the true Poppi. I mean, this is not the true Poppi, but like base Poppi Alpha. And as a blade, Poppi Alpha is just, you know, or the whole Poppis are just super cool because like you can customize them and just make them any element you want and abilities you want, which obviously in turn makes Poppi's final form the best blade in this game combat-wise. But even besides that, Poppi's just an insanely good character. It's, like, the Alpha definitely gets like the most screen time and is used in the most cutscenes. So like Alpha is, as a character, Alpha is probably my favorite. Or Cutie Pie. It's Alpha or Cutie Pie. Cutie kinda in the middle, but Cutie does get I actually know. We can just move over to Cutie while we're here. But Cutie does get privilege because she does have the Melia ult, and that's not really insanely like a fair thing to do, kind of throw in ult here. But like, you know, it's Melia, you get bonus points for that. And obviously, you know, Cutie Pie also gets bonus points design way because it's just like a combination of like Pyra and Mythra, because like it's just like Tor looking up to Rex and like, you know, how he fights with Pyra and Mythra. She's like, oh, I'm gonna make Poppi's final form just like Pyra and Mythra, which is, you know, really cool. Obviously has an insanely cool design. Literally is the most broken blade in this entire game. Does insane amounts of damage. It is not okay how strong she is. But, you know, Poppi as a blade is one of my favorites in the game, and as a character is also one of my favorites in the entire game. I just talked about how Poppi was one of my favorites in the entire game. Yeah, but Nia actually, you know, I mean, kinda is. I know this tier list, or me saying favorite, is kinda unfair. Like, if we don't count the story blades, then I would say like Crossette and like Kasandra, like Practice in Theory, Korra, Veil. Those are like my favorite non-story blades. But then we factor in story, there's like the Ascended tier list, where they're up there because like, you know, obviously they're in story. And as you know, Nia is like literally my second favorite character in this series. And to be honest, probably just ever. My first, obviously, you know, being Rex, Pyra, Mythra, which, you know, they're obviously, I haven't done them that, you know, they're next. But Nia's great. Nia's just such a good character and has an insanely good design. I love it. I love Driver Nia as well. I love Blade Nia. I know she only heals. She's maybe not good at damage, but I don't care. I'm gonna have Nia. Nia's awesome. And here we are, saving the best two for last. Where do there's... In this whole video, I've talked about kind of a little bit, which I feel like if I get started just gushing about Pyra Mythra, I mean, I even started to hold back. I mean, I tried to hold back a little bit on, like Nia, but, like, if you get me going talking about, like, Pyra Mythra, this video is just gonna take, like, 10 years. But just to say, in, like, very, you know, the bare minimum, obviously, you know, I mean, they're literally my favorite character ever, so, like, that should tell you why they're here. Or I'm saving them for the end. They have an insanely good design. I love the design, honestly. I haven't talked much about voice acting and how, like, their voices, but I love Sky Bennett does an insanely good job. Obviously, I mean, everywhere, boy, I like their voice. But, like, obviously, Sky Bennett just gets more privilege because, like, you know, Pyra Mythra. How could you just hate them? How could you hate them? I want to gush about them, but like my mind's just all over the place because I just don't even know where to begin. I guess the best evidence I can give to tell you why Pyra and Mythra are here is just literally go play Xenoblade 2. I know we're super close to Xenoblade 3's, you know, release date, but like maybe you just watch like all Pyra Mythra's cutscenes, man. They're just, I love these two so much. I mean, Rex is not here, obviously because it's just all the blades. But these two, and plus Rex, so 3 means so much to me. Literally just my favorite characters, or favorite character of all time. I could not pick between them. I know there's always like the debate of, oh, Pyra or Mythra. I can't pick one, which I know literally in game they force you to pick one. First time playing the game, I couldn't. I literally sat there for like an entire day, plus like a bit of a second day, just like going over my head like, who do I pick? And that's without torn of context. And you know, with torn of context, well, still the same thing. They're both just equals to me. I can't pick one over the other. And like how I decided was like, all right, I'm gonna flip a coin. If it's head, I pick Pyra. If it's tails, I pick Mythra. Which, sure, I mean it's kind of dumb, but I mean, ever since then, I did flip heads, and so I did pick Pyra for that. But each repeating playthrough, I always alternate. I went Mythra the next playthrough, then I went Pyra, then I went Mythra. I always alternate to, you know, give them both time to shine. So there, I've talked about literally every single story blade and rare blade in the game. Obviously, they didn't go over like Torna, speed round. Jin's awesome. Minos, you know, really cool. But I kind of used Mythra the entirety of that because, you know, it's Mythra. Justice for Haze. Haze is great. And I already talked about Aegeon and Bridget. I didn't think it's just insanely cool that this game has like that many rare blades. Like they could have just done the story blades and threw in a few others, and that would have been it. But no, they gave us so many just amazing character designs, as well as just like having so many, like obviously like the main story blades are designed by Saito, but also just seeing how many like cool different art styles that all these other blades have. It's just insanely cool to look at. And obviously, you know, there's like Nomura with like, you know, Jin, Malos, and people like say, oh, it's just Sephiroth 2. But no, it just literally looks like that because, you know, it's Nomura. And I know throughout this video I talked about, like, oh, this rare blade I really like, but like they're kind of the middle of the road for me. With like those, like, you know, all the rare blades, except like the top ones, like my favorites. I mean, those kind of alternate between themselves. But at least I can say with, you know, Pyra and Mythra that they're guaranteed no matter what my favorite blade in the entire game. And I know in this there isn't Numa on here, but Numa is included with them. I know I say like, oh, Rex, Pyra, and Mythra are my favorite characters of all time, but like there's a secret number of, it's also technically 4 because of Numa, because like Numa is both Pyra and Mythra, so I just don't say I have 4 favorite characters of all time, because like, you know, I don't want to spoil that for people, unlike, you know, Smash Bros that kind of spoils that. So yeah, if you watch this far, you know the truth. You know that I have 4 favorite characters of all time instead of 3. Which, I mean, if you played the game, you kind of could already tell. I think I didn't even have to say that. You could just know.